doors of baseball's Hall of Fame have swung open to admit two more baseball immortals, Bob Feller and Jackie Robinson. Pitcher Feller is a one-time Iowa farm boy who became the greatest pitcher of his day. He piled up 266 victories against 162 defeats in 18 seasons. He spent his entire major league career with the Cleveland Indians.
Hey guys, what is going on? This is Cardinal Number 5. Hope you guys are enjoying those intros. I'm trying to just change it up and trying to show a little bit more respect for the legends. I think a lot of people just look at the attributes on these cards, but they don't realize what they meant for the game and the era in which they played in. It's just so much different compared to today. So it's really cool to see some of those little clips when I'm watching them. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. Anyways, this is going to be a review, obviously, on the legend pitcher Bob Feller. And I was really excited when I found out he was going to be in the game. He's one of the hidden legends. I don't think they announced it. He's not on the default roster. So I've been wanting to try him out, and I finally bought one. You have to get them off the market, or you can open them in packs. Somewhat rare. You can get it for anywhere from $46,000 to $69,000. Anyways, these are his attributes. 99 stamina, of course. This dude was pitching like 300 plus innings a year sometimes. At least 200. Just back in the day is how they did things. 60 clutch. 90 K per 9 and 78 hits per 9 and 89 home runs per 9, which doesn't do much. Walks per 9 is only at 49. He did walk quite a few guys in his time. His pitch repertoire comes with 4 pitches, 4-seam, 2-seam, curveball, slider. Now he can throw up to 97, or excuse me, he can throw up to 99. I think I even seen him hit triple digits, but he can throw 97 consistently. His 2-seamer is 95 to 97. His curveball is 82 and his slider is 86. Now, really, the biggest strength for Bob Feller is his pitch velocity. He has decent enough break with a slider and curveball. The one downside is he does not have a changeup or like a splitter to kind of offset against lefties. So that's really one of the most difficult things for Bob Feller is the pitching the lefties. But I believe you can use his 2-seamer. If you throw it low in the zone, don't put much effort behind it, you can get it down to like 92, and it can kind of act as a changeup. You can also use his slider and curveball. This is a pitcher you kind of have to get creative with, and you have to use more backdoor curveballs, backdoor sliders against lefties. You just got to be a little bit more creative to get those lefties to respect your fastballs. Anyways, that's Bob Feller, and I just wanted to show you guys some of his stats. I mean, this is crazy. I also want to point out Bob Feller came into the league. I think he was 17 years old, and I know I don't know if they even had radar guns back then, but I mean I've heard he hit 99 100 just like in the game. But if you look at some of the stats, it's pretty crazy. The dude threw over 300 innings a few times. I mean, he just played for a while too. Anyways, I think it's really cool they put some of these legends in the game. So, all right. So first thing, I wanted to show you how I use Bob Feller online against lefties, because you're gonna see a lot of lefties online, and it's really difficult. I wouldn't say difficult. You just have to be a little bit more creative if you don't have a changeup. So let's start out by just showing you Bob Feller's pitches. Now, he's not on the default roster. I had to download a created player on the vault, and then I had to edit the attributes myself. So I know a lot of you guys are asking. That's how I created Bob Feller. A lot of the legends are already on the game, though, but he is not. Anyways, his 4-seamer, that's his 4-seamer. Pretty much just goes straight. Next, we'll show you the curveball. His curveball, I mean, it's got 67 break. It's okay. Comes in at 82 mile an hour. It's really just to offset the high fastball. Next, we'll show you the slider. This is a slider. It has 70 break. Just enough break. Like if you have a pitch with 70 plus break, I would say that's pretty good and well above average. So it gets the job done. And next, we'll show you the 2-seamer. 2-seamer has 59 break, so it's nothing crazy. It's just a little extra movement there. And like I said, I like to use it as kind of a changeup against lefties. So I'm going to kind of show you how I like to pitch to lefties. Of course, if you're playing an opponent that can't catch up with a fastball, Bob Feller is your man. All you have to do is throw 4-seamers. You can throw them up, down, wherever. If you're playing an opponent that can't hit it, that's all you have to throw, guys. Now, the one thing about Bob Feller, if you are facing a competent opponent that can somewhat hit the fastball every now and then, you really have to be careful with the low fastballs, because there's really not a like a changeup. Like if you throw it down and into a lefty, there's really not a changeup to offset that. So what you're gonna have to do more of is kind of throw to this outer third against lefties, And remember, I keep bringing this back, is you have to keep the same arm slot to set up your breaking balls. So we want to start our fastballs up here, you know, throwing for strikes up and away. Every now and then we can go inside. So here's what I like to start. I like you to throw up and away. You can also throw low and away with Bob Feller, and I'll show you guys why later. Low and away, anywhere on the outer third is fine. If you do want to go inside and you're afraid your opponents can turn on the fastball, what I like to do is I like to throw middle in, and I'll show you guys a few pitches to offset that. So starting with the we'll start with the slider against lefties. So if we're throwing up and away with fastballs or middle away or whatever, and they're starting to swing at them, what you can do is you can start to bring that slider, you know, middle in on the hands. And if you're throwing fastballs middle in, like I said, where I like to throw them inside, that's when you can use the slider about down in here, and you'll get swings and misses on that. If you want to, you can also throw fastballs low. I just don't think a lot of people will respect it, and they'll pick up the slider and they won't swing at it. But you really have to get creative and see what your opponents can adjust to. Next, we'll go with a curveball. Now keep in mind, I keep bringing up, you know, keep the same arm slot. Now that's why I like to start high and away to lefties, is because you can use that kind of, you know, that curveball kind of as a change up. You can throw it down and away, middle away, high and away. I wouldn't recommend throwing it down and in. If you're gonna throw it down and in at all, make sure it's, you know, completely out of the zone. Try to get that strikeout. But that's what I like to do with the curveball against lefties. Nothing super crazy. And the two-seamer. Now this is one pitch that can be useful against lefties, and you'll have to get creative with. The two-seamer away, where you put minimal effort, and I'll even try it here. Put minimal effort. Now if you're throwing the four-seam about right here, or right in here, and you throw that two-seamer down in here, you can get some rollovers on it. You just have to be really careful. I wouldn't even recommend throwing it for a strike. You can also throw the two-seamer about down in here if you are throwing low fastballs. You have to be careful though. Make sure you don't throw it for a strike, because people are going to be right on it. What you want to do is you want to get people to hit it, but you want to, you know, for them to keep it in play to get grounders. So let's try to throw this two-seamer with minimal effort. It looks really fast right now because I'm playing offline. But 94, I've gotten it down to 93 before. So let's try it again. Just keep the two-seamer down and away. Let's see how fast that was. Okay, I'm throwing a little too hard. But trust me, you can go down to 93, and you can kind of use that like as a change-up with a fastball. Right, that's where you want to throw the two-seamer. Now, if your opponents start chasing that, you can come back with a low fastball low and in. So yeah, you have to get really creative using Bob Feller. Let's go ahead and pitch here against lefties. Against righties, it's really not a big deal. But the problem is in Diamond Dynasty, a lot of people just stack the lineup with lefties. Let's get that slider middle in, and we'll try fastball. Oh, and his delivery, there's nothing too crazy about it. It's kind of just an old-fashioned classic delivery. It isn't like really deceptive or anything. It's got a lot of, you know, movement to it that might throw your opponents off. But other than that, you can see the pitch pretty well. We'll go ahead and walk this guy, get to the righty, and show you guys how I like to attack them. Righty, pretty basic, guys. Fastball in, high fastball, curveball sliders away, curveballs down. So just establish the fastball on the inner half. If you get that slider working down and away and you get them chasing, you can try some. You know, you can try some fastballs away, some two-seamers away to get them looking. You can also try the two-seamers middle in to get them jammed. But really, guys, pretty straightforward pitcher against righties. Like, I don't really use change-ups too often against righties anyway. It's really against the lefties where you have to get super creative. But just attack with a fastball. You know, figure out what your opponent's bat speed is and then adjust accordingly. If they can't hit fastballs, like, it's really hard to hit his fastball. He can go up to 99. Right there was 98. The high fastball is probably one of Feller's best strikeout pitches in the game too. That was at 98. Now if you're throwing the high fastball again, I like to throw sliders about right here from the same arm slot. That'll get a lot of people to swing and miss. .97 and just challenge him right here. Bam. So next we're gonna have some gameplay clips for you guys. I've used Bob Feller one time, so that's mainly what it's going to be focused on, but I'll show you guys how I used Feller in that game, so stand by. Alright guys, so here we have Bob Feller pitching at Red Rocks. Now like I said, my opponent, and you'll see this a lot, is a lot of them will use a lot of lefties. So I figured out really, if you're playing a good player, you just can't throw the high fastballs. You have to get really creative. And in this at-bat, you'll see what I do. I'm facing David Ortiz. I fall behind 2-0. He takes there. And then this is where I incorporate the two-seam down and away, sort of like a changeup. And I throw it here and I get him to roll over. You have to be really careful though, and you have to make sure it's under the strike zone. And then you can complement that pitch with a low and in fastball, or just a low fastball in general. You just have to be really, really careful, guys. Next batter we have Trout. This is righty on righty, so this shouldn't be as difficult. Start him off with a two-seamer down and in, trying to jam him. Next, I'm going to go with a slider away. Get him to swing and miss there. Like, Bob Feller against righties, guys, he's probably like one of the best starters out there against righties. It's just against lefties. You have to be super creative. We get a called strike there on the outside corner with a slider. So we have a 1-2 count on Trout. Challenge him. Or no, excuse me, we didn't challenge him. We went with a curveball there. So 2-2. I noticed my opponent had a quick bat right away, so I try to avoid the fastballs. And we go with a curveball there, get him to swing and miss. So the curveball got the job done there. Here my opponent had a couple guys on, and he had a lefty up, so I had to be really creative here and try to pitch out of a little mini jam. Start him off with a slider down and in, go back with another slider at a little bit better spot. Get him to swing and miss. We got a 2-1 count, excuse me. I'm going to go back again with a slider, and I got him swinging. He was looking for that high fastball, and that's really one of the pitches you have to use to offset the high and in fastball, is that slider almost hitting them. And then we come back with a fastball in on the hands. Should have been out, but my third baseman couldn't get to it, so we showed him pretty much everything we could on the inside part of the plate. And we're going to go ahead and go back to the slider down and in. We showed him we're going to throw an inside fastball. We showed him the slider. So now we got it to a full count. And right here, I go back to the slider because I think he's going to be swinging if he doesn't get the bail out, and that's exactly what happened. So a big strikeout there. And the next he has CC Sabathia, which this is a flashback, by the way. I think it could probably actually hit, so we have to be somewhat careful here. But I go up the ladder with a fastball first pitch, get a strike. Like, that's where I like to start my fastballs. And the next pitch, I'm going back to that slider down and in. Missed my spot a little bit there, but he's out in front. Or actually, he's very late on that, so he's trying to stay back. And we got an 0-2 count. We're just going to go up the ladder with a fastball. Get him to swing at it, and it's an easy foul out to the third baseman. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. This is Bob Feller. I still think he's a good pitcher. Not necessarily like a top 5 pitcher in the game, but try him out, guys. He's a real cool pitcher, and he can bring the heat. Anyways, this is Car number 5 signing out. Peace.